Eddie, raw, uncut, bubs raw, uncut, unscented and unfiltered, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes the PJ, y'all. Please say the real. Shot tells us all what's happening. Steve get the T. Shot tells us all what's happening. Eddie keep you laugh. Steve get the T. Bubs opinionated. Eddie keep you laugh. Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes the PJ. Please say the real. Uncut, shot, raw, uncut, deep, raw, uncut, unscented and unfiltered, raw, uncut, Eddie, raw, uncut, bubs, raw, uncut, unscented and unfiltered, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes the PJ, y'all. Please say the real. Shot tells us all what's happening. Steve get the T. Shot tells us all what's happening. Eddie keep you laugh. Steve get the T. Bubs opinionated. Eddie keep you laugh. Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar, spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes spiritual and natural. I'm Q-La familiar. Comes the PJ. Please say the real.
Once again, it's on. Did you miss us? Because we definitely miss you. It's the one and only GQ podcast. It's your boy Boog, straight out the 804. We're going to go around to the fellas, as I like to call them, the usual suspects, and get some introductions before we set it off. Let's go, Bub.
Welcome back. But if it's not welcome back, it's your first time with us, we welcome you. We hope that you enjoy the show, so sit back and enjoy.
Next up is Eddie. Let's get it popping.
What's going on? I'm so excited to be back. Like, y'all gonna enjoy. I know y'all are. Y'all just started.
Now, when you see him in the street, you got to say the real. And I do mean the real, because he's here tonight. PJ.
We must have got some money because that theme song sounded like Primo right there. Somebody paid to get Primo on that beat.
I thought it was free. They definitely
don't.
I thought it was like a throwaway beat.
Yeah, I definitely think that we got that on a low budget and inside. Like, you know.
All right, I see what it is. I'm taking it back. Don't ever use it again.
And last but not least, we're gonna go down to ATL, Mr. Suave himself, Shad. Let's get it popping.
What's up, people? First, this already feels good. Bub came in backstage with a whole bunch of energy, then try to settle down when he got on camera. So he never believed that Russell Simmons intro.
He got in trouble during the intro.
Yo, I've never seen an intro have a double loop. I was like, all right, we get ready to go. Then it just played over again. I was like,
I mistakenly had it on loop. And it just kept going.
It wasn't no mistake. The beat's so fire, you have to hear it twice.
It's not true. But yo, welcome back, y'all. We appreciate y'all being here with us. This is probably the Let's Get Canceled show. So we gonna have some fun with it. Hopefully not getting too much trouble. But I guess just jumping in. Let's talk about Eddie's boy. Question number 1 is Bronny James a nepotism draft?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I ain't mad at it because everybody else do it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same. It ain't what you know, it's who you know, right?
That is true.
So if I'm not mad for his, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. I watched his son play a little bit, and my opinion is
I watched him play a little bit. We only played a little bit.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. It is only summer league, but like he's not quite NBA ready yet, in my opinion. But he can be with a little bit more work.
But I think to that point, was Kobe NBA ready when he came in the league?
Well, most players aren't, if we're being honest, right? because I don't think Kobe
You
was.
can't say that though, because LeBron came in and hit the ground running.
But Bronny ain't Bron.
Right, Bron is Bron. That's a whole different dynamic.
Bronny ain't Bron.
But see, what I
That's
think,
what I'm
like,
saying. That's what makes the difference right there. Some
What?
come in with it, some don't. Kobe came in good. Kobe came in
He wasn't
exceptional.
ready yet.
But Kobe wasn't Kobe when he came in the
Kobe
league.
came
Let's be
in-
real.
Kobe
But see,
came in the league like Omar
think
Epps
what
in
y'all-
loving basketball.
What y'all missing about the situation is that anytime you're the first, there's always a lot of kickback, such as it's a hell of a thing to be able to do what LeBron did. I played for 20 some odd years, and I'm able to get my son drafted to my the same team that I played for. If I'm sure if people could, they would have. They had that much, pull to be able to do it. But
I think
he's just the first one to do it. So I think you're
it's
always
beyond
going
pull,
to,
though.
huh?
I think it goes beyond pool. I think the let's say the stars align. Bron came in the league young. He had a long career. He had a son at a younger age, was able to come into the league at the same time. It's just, I think like everything just aligned correctly. Any other time, it's just you get in after I'm gone because nobody really has 20-year careers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not a real thing anymore.
But when you're if you're the first person to be able to really do it, because there's always been a player who's had a kid that's made it to the league. Kobe is a player's son, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But to be able to have, like you said, the longevity, but also be the face of the league, to use it in such a dynamic that you could actually manipulate some of the system, I'm not mad at it. Because again, if my son wanted to do the same thing I do and I had the power to do it, I'm going to help him get the job. And that's even with management, that's ownership, that's always the thing. I think that watching a black man do it in real time from the athletics aspect was the thing that threw people for a loop. But I still think as a parent, you're always going to want the best for your kid. And the reason you work so hard is to make sure that you put your child in the best position for them to be able to succeed. So I think that's lost in some of this sports thing, because it's still a business and it's still his life.
But you know what? I think Bronny comes in with the perfect balance. And I'm going to be honest with you, because it's not like he doesn't have skills, and it's not like he's not good. I'm not going to say he's not good, but I think those gaps where his skill may lack, his father's influence fills in. Because let's be real, like I heard, multiple things like LeBron threatened this person, or LeBron said, if you don't sign my son, I'm going to go over here and sign with Boston, or I'll sign with the Knicks, or I'll sign with this thing. Now, I don't believe all that. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't believe all that. But what I'm saying is the power of influence is important. And let's be real, who's more important in the NBA and has been for the past 20 years?
I think it's a dope retirement gift. And it's like, I want my son to come in, do this thing. Like nobody's done it before, so let's make this happen. But as a rookie, like any other rookie, you come in and your whole purpose as a rookie is to develop into a player. So he has the foundation to become a great player. It's just a matter of if he fulfills that, and his dad can't save him once you're on the court. Like nobody cares that you're LeBron.
The
So if
problem
anything,
I
will go
see-
harder at you.
It's like with Giannis and his brother Thanasis. He shouldn't be in the NBA at all. But he's on there. But he's
You got that check though, Chief.
But
That's
he's
real.
Got that check.
That's real.
Watching him on Shaq and the Fool has been the greatest part of his career. But the thing is, Bronny has the potential to the same thing. You know what I mean? You could develop into a better player potentially.
Right.
But now all eyes are going to be on you. So every little mistake
gotta prove yourself.
is going to be highlighted. So
I'm not against
him.
As long as the thing is, you got to give him a chance. Like because of who his dad is, people are going to try to measure him up to that, and that's the huge mistake that people can't make. He's not going to be. I don't think. That's what's the odds of him being his dad? Like his dad was already that dude.
No, that's not going to happen. I mean,
That's what I was going to say. That's my point, though. Is Bronny trying to be Bronny? Long as Bronny tries to be Bronny, I think he'll have a chance. But if Bronny tries to be LeBron, I think that's where he'll fall off at.
But I think honestly, I don't even think Bronny wants to be LeBron. I think he wants to I think he's trying to become his own person.
Yeah.
You can see the weight of it on his face, just hands down. You can tell like he's already under that amount of pressure, which I understand. Brother that played basketball, I'm not that dude. Like it's just he has to find his own balance. And I think he's going to be cool finding that balance, but he's not going to be LeBron. Like you're not even built the same. Like,
But see,
But let me play advocate right quick though. If you look at all these years where his dad did everything he could, paid a meal to keep up with his body, eating all these diet plans, breaking these records, doing all this. I'm just playing advocate right quick. And you still hear he's not better than Jordan. Even as a son, you go home, go to him and animosity.
I don't think you can say that either, though.
But what y'all missing, especially as black men, at this time, we're finally starting to use our power. Like LeBron actually,
we're not missing that.
Like, huh?
We're not missing that.
No, that's acknowledged.
Listen,
that's acknowledged.
The fact is, even if for you to question the fucking fact that like he knew his value, because PJ mentioned Thanasis, but that's how important Giannis is to the city of Milwaukee, the state of Wisconsin. So he was like, yo, I'm not gonna stay here because my value is worth more than anything that you can have. So you got to have my brother. So that's the key thing. I think that we're forgetting and missing that's what these dudes are really doing. They're putting in place to set up generational wealth, not just for them, but for other family members. So it's a longer stream. You know what I mean? Because Giannis doesn't have to pay for Thanasis. He actually gets a paycheck, on top of that. And then with Bronny, there's never been a second round pick that late to have a multi-year deal. You usually get a 1-and-1. He got a 4-year, $7 million guaranteed contract, which is pretty dope when you think about who your dad is. Because if I'm the face of this league, not only the franchise, but of the league, and I'm going to look, even with the Olympic team, he's still one of the faces. Yo, you're going to do as I say. And I think that's the thing that's refreshing for me to see. Like, like we're just really using our power, like to say like, all right, cool. Because these dudes are billionaires that's paying us. So by all means, you can pay my son this same type of money. It ain't gonna hurt you, because that's what it really shows, that you can pay 12 dudes and you can pay my son when I ask you.
But okay, so from that perspective, does that tarnish the integrity of the league?
No.
If you say
the Lakers are owned,
I don't think so, because it's entertainment.
No, but Jeannie Buss,
there has to be a skill base.
Huh?
I'm saying
he has skill. He has skill.
No. I'm not saying he doesn't have skill. I'm saying there has to be a skill base in there, so it can't just be like the only reason you're here is because your dad's here. So he had to come in somewhere in there. Has to be his.
I don't think that's the only reason, because he's not trash.
I'm not saying he's trash. I'm saying like it can't just be Bron dropped a hammer. Like let
me run this by you real quick. Dr. Jerry Buss ran the Lakers spectacular. That's when they were Showtime, Shaq, Kobe. For those few years where Jim Buss, who inherited the team from his dad, didn't know how to operate the team, his sister had to sue him to get the team, because that's what people do. That's wealth. You pass it down to your children. So if Bronny fails, it doesn't matter, because his dad still has his back on the other end, but I'm giving you the opportunity. And I think that's what we're missing, because they do it on the management end. Because again, the Lakers were owned by a father who passed it to his children. The other children said, man, you suck. You're not keeping our money's worth. So let me step in. And it's the same thing. So if Bronny fails in the same vein, oh, well.
Back office management and playing on the court are two different things.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's
business. It is. That's two different things.
No, it's
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I see what Bub's saying. Bub is saying he's giving his son a sink or swim opportunity.
I get the chance. Like I get that. I get the chance. I get the chance. Nepotism is been a thing. You pass the business down to your kids. Like that's been a thing, culture to culture. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying going into where the arena he's stepping into, is that because his skill is putting him there? And again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Is that because the skill is putting him there, or because his dad's influence put him there?
A little bit of both. That's why I was saying he had balance.
It doesn't matter though, because again, the same team that the same employer literally had the same thing. Like they didn't know. Listen, Jerry Jones, even with the Cowboys, his whole front office is his children. You know what I mean? Like that's not anything like you're saying. It's nepotism, right? So even if they fuck it up, it doesn't matter. Like they're set up in a position where they can either sink or swim. But even if they sink, they're still going to have some swim on the back end because of who and the opportunity they get being the person that they are as a child. You can't.
But what about What about the fact that Bronny? Let's be real. He not saying he doesn't have skill,
Right.
but without LeBron, there's a good chance that he wasn't going to get drafted.
Yo,
but
what if my dad was Michael Jordan? I might be rich too, but we're talking about what it is.
We're not talking. No, I'm not talking. Right, I'm not talking. Hold on, I'm not talking about money though. I'm just saying opportunity. Now he got an opportunity because of who his dad was, right?
Right.
But what about that kid that played just as hard and would have been in that same exact spot? Now he loses out.
All right, let me ask you this: how many people have we discussed this before on a prior show? How many times affirmative action is in place for what reason? Because people hire who they want because they feel like it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've seen people that's less educated, less skilled, get jobs around us who are just friends of the boss or their kids. Are we not saying that hasn't happened?
No, that absolutely happens.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
okay.
Nepotism is like it's a thing.
Again, so allow this man to have his opportunity. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not shitting on his opportunity. I'm glad the dude's there. I'm glad he's gonna have this moment. Bet.
But you know what? Two things before we close on this subject, because I mean, no, my bad. I thought you was finished.
Nah,
I thought you was about to move on. Go ahead, Chad. Because I definitely want to plug something.
But if you say because of the weight of the player of your dad, he can push you in this space and say, I want you to be here as well. And again, he has skills to play basketball. I think he was picked like second to last, if I'm not mistaken, in the 55th
draft. Pick. He was
you at the bottom. So it's you're the malt liquor of the NBA draft.
This nigga, why?
So I'm just saying it's not like there's not 55. It's not like there's not 55 other dudes that go in the draft that's not better than him. So it's like you got an opportunity in part of your dad, which we get. Coming out of that pressure point, it's like now you have to perform on a level that makes it look like that was the right decision and it wasn't just a nepotism draft pick. That's all. That's like Magic Johnson can't put his son in the NBA.
That's not even a funny joke. I'm going to step into that and just say that that's not even making sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just two things I want to plug right quick. I'm gonna say this.
Cancel comment number
one. Look at it, nepotism is like he's giving him the NBA, or like he's giving him the throne, or like he's giving him that crown. Regardless of what he does, that's not going to be handed to him easily. Because we're looking at the fact LeBron only got maybe what? How many years left? Maybe 2, 3?
One.
If that.
This is it.
Or he might just close out this year. So it'll all be on Bronny does what Bronny does. It's not going to be like, I'm here to guide you through this. Nah, it's not that type of program. And number two, we keep overlooking the fact that I'm not being funny. I'm going to put this out there now, and I want it to be noted on this date and time. Are we going to keep ignoring the fact that I believe Bryce may be better than Bronny?
Bryce
people ain't talking about it, but let's be clear.
Player in his draft class, Bronny was never that low. I just want to say that for the record.
That's not. I'm telling you now. I'm looking at highlight reels and skills. I'm talking about highlight reels and skills.
Yo, Bron came through and was like, Simba, everything the light touches is yours.
I want it noted, right? I'm want it noted. Date and time. I want it noted. Remember, I said that.
We will remember.
You got anything else on this, PJ? Eddie?
Nah.
I'm surprised. You know, you're a super Bron fan.
Who, me?
That's because I'm saying it, because I'm on the Bron side, so you good, huh?
Yeah, I just
you sat back.
Everything.
He probably got a good night. He don't got to defend LeBron.
Everything else saying is true. Nobody's calling that young man trash. It's obviously he got a shot because of his dad. And honestly, if he ends up just being a role player for a few years, it's a success. You know what I'm saying? So
he got to develop. Like he has to. I'm saying he has to prove that it's not just Pop's word that got me in here. That's all I'm saying.
And the reason I said 2-3 more years is because
1 year, fam.
The way he's playing in these Olympics.
1 year.
Bro's only playing another year or
How would you handle that, PJ?
How would I handle one?
You got 2 sons. If you was in that position, how would you really handle that? Let me ask you that.
If they were both playing in college, if I don't know, I would let it play out the way it plays out. I would probably use my influence to a certain extent, but
I think everybody would.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody wouldn't.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be like, yo, if y'all don't do this, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Because you still got to look at you got to look at your team as well. You know what I mean? So I'm not just going like again. I don't want Thanasis on my team, and for them to be like, oh, your son Thanasis
how much did
is on the
Thanasis
team.
get?
You know what I mean? Like
How much he just get?
Huh?
How much did Thanasis just get on his contract?
I couldn't tell you.
It's ridiculous.
It don't matter. It gives you peace of mind.
That's the point I'm trying to make. He ain't got all the skills, but look at the contract. That's the same thing I'm saying right now with the subject that we're on. The man sits the bench most of the time, but look at the contract.
Yeah, but he got a contract just to be a cheerleader.
No.
But look at the contract.
He's a professional cheerleader, and then he provides comic relief when the team is winning. That's it.
You know what?
Y'all gotta stop doing that. Yo,
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on,
Let's
Thanasis is a bum.
all of us here love these siblings, so it's a different thing. And
No,
if
man,
you
we're
were
still a
sibling,
bum.
you would do that too.
We understand. Like we understand.
I'm just saying.
Now that's
but
what you
the
call
same way-
throwing the bone.
But not
That contract right there.
but it was the same way when Peyton was in the league and Eli was coming. It was like, are you only getting here because your brother's here? Now you got to prove
Nah,
yourself.
their dad was a.
No, I'm saying,
coach.
I'm saying though, it's a matter of how did you get here, and people called his pick nepotism pick, and he had to prove himself to be able to be in the league. I mean, it's the same thing, same question. It ain't different because we black.
It is.
It's not.
It holds different weight because we black.
Nah, because then it makes it look like that's the only reason that you're there. That's the bad part.
That's the only reason that people even care about it, because all those teams are owned. All those teams are owned by second generation, third generation owners. Sometimes a lot of them. So
yeah, but they can't dribble, so it don't matter what they do.
I honestly would like to see nepotism work somewhere beyond sports and entertainment.
Exactly.
Like it's we're expected to be in sports and entertainment. Let's use nepotism somewhere else.
Like your Byron Allens and all of them.
I'm sure they take care of their kids, but that's what I'm saying.
They take care of their kids, but I'm talking about far as what we're talking about, nepotism.
Yeah, but
we still limited. It's still limited. I mean, Crosby is still limited.
All right. So let's bounce around. There's some serious things in there I want to touch on yet. The hair braiding teacher. Wanted to talk about this.
That was Eddie's thing originally.
Nah, since y'all got daughters and stuff, was it okay for a teacher to let the kids unbraid his hair? How y'all feel about it?
I don't really know how I feel. So I'm trying to put my daughters, and I got 3 of them, in that scenario, and I don't know how I feel about them playing in some grown man's hair. I mean, and when you say it at work, and when you say it like that, it does sound ridiculous, right? I know that it was harmless. I know the whole background. I know it's his way of vibing with the kids, whatever. But there's still something that makes me uncomfortable about it. And it's not even like I don't view him as like a pedophile or nothing like that. I don't think he did. Like I don't think he was like, oh my gosh, he's so wrong. I'm just not okay with my young daughter playing in a grown man's hair. That's as simple as I can make it. I don't know. Something about it makes me uncomfortable.
Do you think that think that there's a emotional attachment when that happens?
But not for him. It could be for her. Think about a young girl and how impressionable they are.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Some teenage girl might be playing in his hair. She might actually got a crush on him. I'm not saying he's gonna do nothing with that. You know what I mean? He might very well not be. He ain't pressed about it. He's just having fun. But my teacher's letting me play in the hair, and it's just like, nah, we don't need to be doing that. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's not weird. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable, bro.
I'm with you. Because here's the thing: watching the video, I didn't feel like there was any true malice in watching the video.
Same.
But to your point, Eddie, I have a whole daughter, and if my daughter was in it with hearsay, I would be like, nah, my man. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's a set of professionalism. There's a thing with professionalism. There's also like a matter of like, again, like I didn't see malice.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that like Eddie said, like preteens and teenage girls go through so many emotions. And like you said, like it's a line that I can see where people felt like it may have been crossed.
Right.
And that's how I feel. Like I would be mad if it was my daughter.
Yeah.
Like I would be flat out mad. I'd, be really, have something to say about it.
Yeah.
But again, I'm with Eddie the same way. Like it's a real slippery slope of emotion with it.
Yeah. And just to add to that, like I don't think like he should like lose his job or no crazy shit like that.
He did, but he got it back.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I guess I didn't think he should have been penalized, right? And maybe I'm just being biased because my kid wasn't there,
right?
But I guess it's just because when I look at it, I'm like, I don't think he necessarily. I'm trying to choose my words right wisely.
So on that, is it if he wasn't penalized and he was just taking this to office and was like, "Yo, that's not cool. Don't do that again."
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I've been cool with that. Yo, you can't do that.
So, but if it was your daughter's and it's on this video and this video,
I would have been cool with you can't do that. Seriously, okay. I'd have been cool with that. Now, if you do it again, now you're being weird. Why are you still doing it? You know what I'm saying? If they already said you can't do that, I already said I don't want my daughter doing that, and then you do it again, now we have a problem.
Then that's a different story.
But see,
would it be different if it was a woman teacher?
Like a woman teaching having boys.
A woman teacher having the girls take the hair out. That's way different. That's way different. They're girls.
Yeah.
No.
Or even. Go ahead. I'm sorry, PJ. Go ahead.
What I think we're missing here is you're looking at the act of what they're doing, right? And then you also see the video where you're saying you don't see any ill intent, but you also don't see any ill intent when somebody's grooming somebody either.
Right.
No,
so regardless of how innocent it looked, when somebody's grooming somebody, everything looks innocent until it's not. Right. So I think that there has to be some type of action taken against that teacher, because if you just let it go and say, oh, all they were doing is this, then a couple years down the line, you realize, no, there was something more to it. You know what I mean? It's in a place like that, when you're dealing with kids, there has to be that line that you just don't cross. And whether that was, if it was a female teacher with girls, female teacher can groom girls as well. Like I think there has to just be a separate. You can reach kids and get on their level without physically touching them and letting them touch you and different things like that. There has to be a line drawn completely.
Agreed.
That makes sense.
I agree.
How about you, Bulls? You have a daughter, a high school daughter. So
see, this is the thing. My thing is this though. I'm looking at it like I've looked at all the backgrounds and what people had to say. Some people were like they weren't in a private environment; they were in a wide open environment. It was in front of the whole class. It was during free time. So they said they didn't really see anything wrong with it. On the left side, I'm like, well, between teachers and students, especially this day and time, there still needs to be some boundaries. And when I say boundaries, I mean like physical touch is a serious thing this day and time, period. Because it's to the point to where, like now, I work in mental health, but some establishments here, even before they can have a volatile patient that's a minor going off completely ham, and they still have to be like, is it all right if I touch you? And he's just trying to hurt folks. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from all these aspects, but I don't necessarily feel he should have been penalized. I feel he should have been talked to about it and made aware that was inappropriate. But as far as losing your whole job behind that, I don't think there was no ill intent. It's not, wasn't in private, wasn't secret. It was open. And my thing is this, like, I understand what y'all saying as far as the grooming, but it's like some of these things happen anyway. If we talking about the grooming, I mean, we got female teachers that are wearing some things nowadays that are grooming or enticing, if we being clear.
No. You can't do that.
Male ones doing the same thing.
You can't do that.
Why we can't? If we on that subject, we talking about grooming.
No, you can't. So you're
talking about grooming.
No, so you're pretty much blaming somebody's body or their shape for the way somebody looks at them or reacts to them. You can't do that.
But look at what I'm saying. You're blaming somebody taking out somebody's hair for the way they feel on the inside.
I think an action and the image are two different things.
But here's the thing,
For the way they feel on the inside, it's the same difference. We're going by emotions and feelings, though. We not.
Here's the issue with it, though. Here's another thing that's disconnect with it, though.
Come on.
I think he felt comfortable posting it because he might have, want to give off the image that it's not malice. There's
It's
no malice
innocent.
there.
It's innocent.
But then, in the same vein, I think that's also what may have hurt him with the idea because, again, the visual, because everybody needs to post everything and everybody needs to say anything. But I guess he used that in the sense of saying, like, hey, this is how we do. We just vibe out. But in the same vein, like me and Eddie just said, hey, yo, like if I see my daughter with her, it'd be a problem. Different. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think, like, there's a lot of things that went wrong with this situation. Like the aspect that you need to even display that on social media and the reason that you even need to have it done by your students. Because, again, like to PJ's point, like there's a lot of ways you can get the teenage girls, and you got to watch because we've seen the Me Too movements. We've seen the Larry Nassers. We've seen a lot of these things come to light because, like PJ was saying, grooming doesn't look like, man, get over here and become, like it starts
not this dance time, no.
With the gentle, like come with me situation, the Diddy situation. That's what Cassie said.
But see, that's the thing I'm talking about. There should have been boundaries in place. I'm not saying this should have happened. I'm definitely not saying it should have happened.
No,
I disagree with it. I do disagree with it. But what I'm saying is at the same time, even like I would love to hear from the parents of the students.
The parents of the students weren't bothered by it.
No, they weren't.
That's my point right there. How can I get bothered over something that your own mother and father aren't bothered by?
Because it's that's just how
right.
That's how.
But see, that's the thing, though. The mother and father may have a rapport with the teacher that we know nothing about.
But there should still
There
should still be, like PJ said, there should still be a boundary between authority and peer. I mean, like authorities and
we don't know if they go to the same church or if they go to the same
I damn sure don't want nobody in the church let my kids know break.
I mean, I'm talking about know somebody organizations outside of school, though. I'm just talking about knowing somebody from outside school.
But I think
I use that as an example.
If you want somebody to think what you're doing is there's nothing wrong with something that you're doing, do it right out in the open. You can hide something so easily out in the open, post it for everybody to see. You're like, oh, I'm being transparent, right? But meanwhile, you have these ill intents behind it. So just because he's doing it out in the open, the parents are fine with it, does not mean that it was okay. That doesn't mean that he had some other thoughts behind it. I'm not saying that he did.
Right.
It's just like saying parents, there could be parents that are okay with their 16-year-old daughter dating a 21-year-old. They're cool with it. That doesn't make it right.
Nah, we seen that at the high when they used to come pick them up in the bus line.
I ain't saying nothing.
It doesn't necessarily make it right, but just because somebody agrees with it or doesn't have a problem with it.
But Boogs, that's like, this is an authoritative figure at work that's supposed to be, you know what I mean, teaching your child. So then that's where, like I said, a lot of the lines were blurred.
Yeah, there should be boundaries.
Like what PJ's saying is very true. That's why, like, it was crazy to think like, yo, I'm gonna put it on social media, but then like he brings up a great point where hide it in plain sight. Hide it in, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's no malice, but then like you said, you find out later, oh, and then they look at different stories and things, and I'm not saying that's what he did, but
see, that's the thing. If you put it out there, then basically that's a seed is planted.
But I think that especially in this climate. And you see like where all the allegations are coming from, like between, Boy Scouts, teachers, pastors, like like the allegations are there. So to me, he should have protected himself more by not doing that and not putting himself in a space to where it can be construed to be something wrong. So whether you have that relationship with the kids or not, you still have to have boundaries. I mean, we had close relationship with teachers. That doesn't mean that we were going across that line. So there's like certain things that you're not going to do. Like I'm not going to go out to lunch with my teacher in middle school. Like I'm good. My mom wouldn't have it. And I think it's just
agree with that.
No, you can have lunch in the cafeteria. Come sit at the cafeteria table. There's no I'm taking you to the zoo.
In 8th grade, I won the March Madness situation, and the prize was lunch with the teacher.
You won something.
We went to like McDonald's and sat there and ate lunch.
But they didn't win. They didn't win braid hair or hair braiding.
Say it again.
They didn't win hair braiding. Like you competed for something, and like the prize was this thing. So your parents knew that if you win, you're going to lunch with the teacher. Like that's just that's different.
Okay.
I don't got no kids though. So, you know, you let my dog in your hair, it's a problem.
You got a different kind of problem if you worry about letting the dog mess with your hair. It's crazy.
That's a whole other level.
Another level.
What we got?
What we got next?
Since you brought up Diddy, let's go ahead and deal with that now too.
I just got a question. If he's still walking around a free man,
you should know you the number one bad boy artist.
Nah, I don't know nothing about it.
You've been trying to get signed to Bad Boy for years.
You got them.
Nah, that was back in the day when Biggie was living. That was back in the day when Biggie was living. That was back in the day when Biggie was living. At 112 and everybody else was on the label back then.
And Bugs Money.
Total everybody. It was running stuff back in the day when we was in high school.
Yeah, but
I did want to sign with
the same dude back then.
But nah, seriously though, you know what? I honestly believe if we gonna talk about it, I ain't gonna go too far into it. But I honestly believe that man must have something serious on some serious people to still be walking around a free man.
Well, it's
building the case.
It's a Fed investigation.
Yeah, it's an investigation, but let's be clear.
Federal's different, my guy. Like federal.
Man, listen.
It take a while to make that case. So
it takes a while to make a case if you have a case.
I don't think they don't.
It depends on. My thing is this: you put this on him, you put that on him, you put this over here on him, you put that on him. What are you building your case on? All of it, or one thing, two things?
They haven't charged him with anything. He's just under investigation.
That's my point.
But that doesn't mean he didn't do anything.
And not have anything.
Feds don't come after you. You ain't got shit on you.
Do y'all see that Book still wants to be on Bad Boy?
Right.
Nah. I'm done. Them rap days is over, Chad. Them rap days is over, Chief.
I'm proud of you, my boy. Look, that law license.
Nah, them rap days is over. My thing is this though.
Yo,
I believe this day and time, it's just like you scandalize people, you do this like R. Kelly. Okay, they brought out all the stuff about R. Kelly, then they got him. Boom, okay.
R. Kelly brought out the stuff about R. Kelly.
Then they brought out stuff about so and so. Then after Michael died, they brought out, even before Michael died, they brought out stuff about Michael. Boom. Then they brought out stuff about Prince after he died. Boom, here come Prince. Now it's like everybody that was doing something. I'm not, hold on, let me make a disclaimer. I am by no means defending Diddy because I don't know what Diddy did. But what I'm saying is this.
We saw what Diddy did.
I don't know.
But what I'm saying is this. It seemed like man, I'm not even going to go there right now because we might get shut down. You know where I was going.
I made a comment about Magic Johnson. It's feds don't come after you with full evidence. And apparently the evidence is there. So now it's just a decision on what is being charged, what's still within statute of limitations, what still makes sense, who's willing to come forward, who's willing to testify. All that shit matters. So it's not like I'm not going to say he's innocent based off of one video. So regardless of everything else, you did that one thing that was said that you did, which makes it seem like anything else that was claimed could also possibly be true. But it's with a Fed investigation, it's going to take a while. And then when it drops, it drops. And then all that shit comes out and it's like, damn, that's what it was. So I think he gets in trouble, but I hope he's not. I mean, I don't hope he's not. I think that if he...
Damn, that was personal. Look.
Not
because you saw that?
Nah, because...
I hope he's
that was intentional.
Because you had these conversations with people, and it's we never take the word of the woman first. We always defend the man's actions. So it's always like, you know, he couldn't have because I know this about him or know that about her, have like this level of respect.
Oh no, that Cassie stuff, that's coming. I mean, you got proof of all that.
But that's
that Cassie stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about all the other allegations, as far as like the child trafficking and this, everything else they're trying to throw. You see no proof of those things.
But I think that's the thing. I think that in those situations, you have to I hate to say that you have to.
My fault. Sex
believe the
trafficking. I
person
want to
first.
make it clear. Sex trafficking, not child trafficking.
You
But
gotta
go
you
ahead.
gotta believe it first, and then like prove it's not right or prove it's not there. Because if not, then you're taking the side of saying, well, that can't be. And it's like the only reason that you would say that it can't be is because it's Diddy. If it was John down the street, it would be no question about it. So it's
But
just
see, that's what society does now anyway. And I'm not bringing up nothing, but y'all know, like even my name was brought up on some foolishness. Let's be clear.
What?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's
But-
be real.
Yeah, but books.
We ain't going there because there's
hasn't
still
been proven.
lawyers
Yo,
and
Bugs,
everybody
I don't
else
own-
involved.
I don't own no Bugs albums.
yo, Bugs.
It's still lawyers and
Hold
you know what I mean?
Bugs.
I mean,
Bugs,
you know what I'm
Bugs.
saying? But what I'm
Let it
saying
go.
is,
Bugs,
Let it
how
go.
are you
Legal help.
having all these people
legal help,
guilty?
fam, legal help. If you got a lawyer, shut the hell up.
No, that's why I said I can't
Shut
go in detail
Okay.
because everything
Don't
is
go into-
legal.
don't go into
It's already
nothing.
legal right now.
Yeah, now
But
you
what I'm
would
saying is, let's
cancel
be
comment
real.
number 2.
Yo, all right. So look, we gonna slide off of this because people about to not plead the fifth and incriminate themselves. Can we go with what's next, please? We'll circle back on this at another time, please.
Yeah.
No, I think we need to let Bug speak his mind.
Nah, I don't think we need to let Bugs speak his mind. I think we need to let this
I can't fully do it anyway.
Nah.
No.
PJ, huh? Shot interjected too early, huh?
Because
Oh my God.
y'all playing. They're gonna fucking have us in court as witnesses. What did he tell you? Like,
Yeah, look.
nah, I don't know.
Yeah, yo, what we got next? Because this dude was telling us something.
My name's
He said,
Bennett.
this thing bigger than Diddy. Like, yo, you good. Like, we got
It's bigger than Nino Brown.
They trying to
I'm
assassinate
trying to
my
tell you.
character.
Let's go.
PJ got his Nino Brown outfit on.
Yeah, sheesh. What we got next, Sean? Look,
All right. So I was listening to Math Hoffa and his show. His show is actually really dope. But they posed a question. It was like, should criminal records be included on job applications? I thought that was actually like a really dope question. So being that Bub's in law enforcement, he's an agent, should people who have criminal records have them expunged for job applications? Should it be just off of job applications? Should that not matter when looking for a job if you already have done your time? Like if you went to jail, you went to jail. If you got off the case on probation, whatever, should that be applied to you trying to restart your life? Or is that
here's the easiest layup you're gonna ever have. We have a guy running for president who just got found guilty of 34 felonies.
Yeah.
So I guess, it should, you should be able to.
The real question is this another nepotism thing? Because think
I was
about
about to say it's different strokes for different folks.
Or different races.
because
different
you're talking about the president situation. It's definitely they obviously want him in office if they're allowing him to run. Because let's just say it was Obama, do you think that they would have been like, "Yo, you got all these felonies, bro"?
Nah.
I'm just
If
saying.
Obama had a misdemeanor, they would have tried to cancel his ass. That ain't
Exactly. So it's definitely
That's the point. The least little thing. Some got to play it a little bit.
Good.
No, I wanted you to finish.
Oh, I don't think it should matter about your background. I think if you already paid your debt to society, as they say, you know what I mean. Like I know a bunch of people that did time, and I mean, they're not involved in that lifestyle number because we all do dumb shit at some point in our life. Even though some people keep going as they get older, but when you're young, you do dumb stuff and you get caught up, and then you end up and you serve a little sentence. Some people go back, some people don't. They like, yo, I don't want to do that no more. I learned my lesson. For those people that feel like they learned their lesson, like why would you hold that against them? So I got a felony 10 or 12 or whatever, 20, whatever years ago, and you really want to not let me get this job because of that dumb shit? Like I got my life is different now. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I was young and dumb and didn't have no children at the time. Now I got a whole family to take care of. Fuck my criminal record. You know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't really matter no more because it's more important to me to be a better version of myself. So no, I don't think it should be included on job applications. Like I don't because if you hire a person that's a felon or whatever, you're gonna fuck it up anyway. You're gonna fire him. So You know what I mean?
That
Like,
was deep.
I'm just saying, like,
That was DJ.
no, but you feel all right. Maybe I said that wrong.
You definitely said that wrong.
I said that wrong. If they've shown that they haven't learned their lesson and they still want to live a certain lifestyle and they can't really, you know, do the task at hand or whatever for whatever job they're applying for because they're so caught up in the streets or whatever it is that they're caught up in, they're going to mess the job up anyway. You could just get rid of them anyway. So I don't know if I'm still not saying that right, but I'm just saying like the true colors of the show. If I'm a hardworking person and yeah, I did something stupid in the past, but that was the past, and I'm not doing that no more. I really want to work. I'm trying to show that I want to work. So if I'm showing that, why would you not let me? I don't know. Why not give me an opportunity to show it? Like give me an opportunity to show it.
I feel like it's crime and job affiliation. Like if you rob banks, you can't work at the bank. If you sold drugs, you can't be a pharmacist. Like I feel like it's just certain things that.
Well, if you sold drugs, you definitely should be a pharmacist because.
I'm about to say, if you sold drugs, you might be a great pharmacist.
Nah, because then the possibility of you taking the drug and selling the drugs is a problem.
So
like,
then you still judging me off my past. It's the same thing. You still judging me off the past.
I mean, you know how to make things work.
I might not want to sell drugs. I want to sell drugs legally now, not illegally. I want to.
So you mean to tell me if I kill 3 people, I make a bad police officer?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Absolutely. You absolutely should not have a badge. You shouldn't be able to be a fucking crossing guard if you kill 3 people.
Hey, how many people kill 3 people and then they're out looking for a job at some point in life?
because I never got caught. That's why I would make a good police officer.
He got the Fed case. He's still waiting for his charges to come.
Yo,
but look, the way I see it is I think the same way
that was a joke, by the way.
If you
we told you to be quiet, fam.
Convicted of stealing candy, you can't work at a candy factory, right? But I think that the whole thing is that jail is supposed to be for rehabilitation. So in order for us to say that it shouldn't matter, you know, if you have a criminal record, we got to fix the jail system first. You know what I mean? Like you have to make sure that everybody that's coming out of jail is actually rehabilitated, not just punished, not just doing hard time, but actually rehabilitated, ready to come back into society and actually get a job. Then at that point, it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, include it in your job application, sure, just so that you know certain things can align. Again, you don't want a bank robber working at a bank, but
you can't count the money,
right? But if we're truly rehabilitating people for what they've done, it shouldn't be an issue on what job they really have. But I think we got to start there first.
That's my point. When you're saying a bank robber can't work at a bank, that's bullshit. Like, so I robbed a bank 10 years ago. I did my time. Yeah, am I a threat to rob a bank again? Okay, common sense says yeah. But if I'm rehabilitated, like you said, then I'm not.
Right, but we're not there though. We're not there yet.
What's the rehabilitated bank robber?
Say it again.
What's the rehabilitated bank robber?
How do you
get money?
Yeah,
bank robber.
So let's say this. Say your cousin has burglary charges and he breaks people's houses and steals stuff. You gonna leave him at your crib by yourself?
Okay, first of all, is my cousin rehabilitated?
Yeah, he don't steal no more.
Yeah, I can leave him at the crib.
He said,
I don't. What's the measure? We don't know what the measure or the verification that somebody's actually rehabilitated is at this point.
And we never will, though. I mean, we never will, be honest with you.
He told you. I don't steal no more. You can leave me at the crib. You can leave your watches out. It's cool.
But you know what I noticed? Most people that have criminal backgrounds, strong criminal backgrounds, they get hired over somebody that just either throws them a bone or give them a chance. Just basically, that's what it is.
But I think that's the thing. So it's if you have like a felony, you can't have a federal job. From my understanding, like you can't work for the government with a felony. So it limits your ability to make money, which ultimately
makes certain money.
But it pushes you back towards whatever the thing was that you ended up going to jail for if it was something that was illegal. Because now it's like you're just out trying to survive because you can't get gainful employment.
I'm not going to say that because if you have a felony and I have my own business and you come to me and after you got out of jail, let's say you worked at Wendy's or McDonald's for like 7, 8, 9 years. That's showing me that you're trying because you're making bare minimum and you got a history. You see what I'm saying? I mean, even 3-4 years. That's showing me that you got a work history, though. That's showing me that you're trying to do
work
something.
history? What if you just got out
Then that's
last week?
different. This is the thing. Everybody that comes through that door to interview, and we all know this, especially those of us that have ever owned or had our own business. Everybody that comes through their door, their job is to do one thing, and that's sell their self to you. Make you impressionable as to why you should hire them. That's the one question everybody want to know, even though they ask you 15, 20 questions. Why should I hire you? What benefit do you bring to my company? And number 3, are you more than a help than a hindrance?
And you say, yeah, so I used to rob banks, but I know you got the security business. So I just want to have a gun. And
I want you to be honest with me. What made you rob banks? Now, if you tell me because I was good at it, we're done.
But who's going to say
why were you robbing banks? Well, I got involved because of so-and-so, or this is what happened, and yah. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a background. Everybody got a past. But the thing is, when you're on a federal level or when you're working for somebody else or you got to hire for somebody else, you're limited as far as what it is you can do. And that's the sad part. If it was more of us that would hire us or look out for us, then it'd be, I'm telling you, we'd be much further.
But we all know that this thing is deep rooted too. It starts from that whole thing when drugs being pushed in the community, things like that. So it's like it needs to start at the foundation before the kids or whoever even makes the mistakes to go to jail. Because most people, I ain't gonna say most people, I don't know why little kids do it these days, but the old heads that we grew up around, it's like they hustled out of necessity, like they needed to do it for whatever the reasons were. You know what I'm saying? And then once they did it, bam, now they're fucked because this whole thing. I can't do an application that I just did 5 years or I got a felony or 2 or whatever, because now I got to go back to whatever it is that I was doing because I have to work at McDonald's, but I can't take care of 3 kids working at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think any drug dealer did it out of necessity. I don't think anybody.
I don't believe that. That's not true.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No, that is not true. There's way too many people that sell drugs just for their own selves. They're not taking care of
their own survival.
It's just fast money.
But survival is a necessity. You can't say their own survival.
No.
Survival is not a necessity.
I'm saying survival is, but when I'm saying everybody that sold drugs wasn't.
I'm not saying
it wasn't for survival.
Like literally.
No. What I'm saying, he said everybody that sold drugs. He can't think of too many that did it out of a necessity. I said some are out there that sold drugs for survival. And the reason I say that is because if you got 13, 14-year-olds that you willing to put on the corner and you show him that you can make him $700 a week when his mom is a crackhead and his dad ain't in the picture and he got brothers and sisters and they eating that same loaf of bread, that same cereal box that been in there for like 2 weeks and they scrambling to make ends meet, that's survival, bro.
That ain't everybody's story, man.
That's not, but I'm saying it does happen.
It's not everybody's story. I think a lot of corner boys that are drug dealers do it to get the money. I don't think
some do it for clout. I'm
trying to tell you, I know a couple young boys when I used to live uptown that did it. They weren't hard out. Their parents had decent jobs. They just did it because everybody else was doing it.
But here's the thing:
you're saying a couple.
Y'all getting away.
Yeah, that's what everybody's reason is different. Good.
Should criminal records be included on your job application?
Has a lot of layers to it. So something that you did when you was a child and that you shouldn't, I think at a certain age, like, there's different states where, your child record is expunged. So like you said, like you won't see those things on applications, or even they run background checks. I think that it's a slippery slope in the sense of, you may want to know something about somebody, but yet, and you want to be able to trust people that they are rehabilitated because some people do change, but there's also people that we do know that say they change and they do the same thing over and over again. So I think it's very, I don't know what the exact word is. It's just, it's a messed up system, but I can see why it's the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, again, you want to hire people. We know as black men that a lot of charges are trumped up for stuff. You can go, like you said, I can steal a candy bar and they give me a high misdemeanor retail theft for a candy bar, whereas the same little white boy does it. Oh man, come on, don't do that again. We'll just throw that out. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like anything. And then the nepotism steps in where his parents use the people that they know to allow them to get slid off. So
let's step away from the kids and go into like adults, like adult.
Yeah, but there's a lot
felonies.
of times in our situations where it's like y'all were saying, kids did it. So then it sits like Pennsylvania is not a state where it's a child record and an adult record doesn't separate. Like New York does, you know that. But like there's a lot of states where they
I don't know that, fam. I ain't got no records. You know.
But y'all got it. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's just
no felonies for kids.
PJ, what you got to go?
I know PJ got felony, man.
There's people that outgrow bad behavior, and there's some people that just live and thrive for it. Period.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be in place. You know what I mean? Like it's like some of the things are gonna have to be in place.
I think if your felony, I think it should just be a background check. And if your felony aligns with the job that you're doing, then that's questionable. If it has nothing to do with the other, it shouldn't be a problem. Like if you're trying to go work at whatever, like say FIA, you want to go work. You want to go work at like a state job. If you want to go do that, and your felony is like you had a vehicle problem where you almost like killed somebody, like something like that, then I think those kind of things shouldn't be associated with each other. You should let that person have that pass. You fucked up here. Here's a job. But again,
what crime would y'all would say that was unforgivable to where you shouldn't be able to work anywhere?
For real, I was joking, but I'd probably say murder.
No, I only think there's one crime.
Okay.
I think there's only one crime.
Depending upon the circumstance for murder is why I said that.
Right. Because there's reasons for there's justifiable homicide,
manslaughter,
pedophilia. That's the only thing you can't come from. That's the only thing that I can't.
But you just don't work around kids.
Huh?
They would just say you just can't work around kids.
You got a creepy tendency, period. That means
you creepy.
No.
I know some creepy motherfuckers.
What do you do? Then that means pedophiles need to be locked up forever.
They should. I'm
not against that. I'm not against that, but I'm just saying that
because that's a whole level of malicious kind of like deceit at a whole different level, man. Like you know what I mean?
But
like,
I think
we were just discussing with grooming. Like that's a different level.
Hold on, because that has levels in it too. Because you can get a pedophile charge. You can get a pedophile charge from somebody sending you an email that has some kid in it that's 16, and they're saying like, "Look at this picture," and now like you get it. Somebody goes on your computer and it's like, "Oh, that's a child," and now you have a pedophile charge. So I think that's a
no. I think there's a lot to that. No, I think when I say pedophile, I'm saying you're an actual pedophile.
Right.
Like, known, proven
the question
pedophile.
Was,
not so much that you're on the registered sex offender, because there, like you said, there are many different layers to that. But I'm just talking about
somebody has a pedophile charge shouldn't be able to work at FedEx or work at like.
But see, that's the thing. You mean to tell me if I got a warehouse and I got 3 to 5 guys working in the warehouse, I can't have a pedophile in there driving the forklift?
Yo, if you feel comfortable with a man who's
I'm not saying me. I mean in general though, because there's a lot of them out there that's working. I don't agree with it, but this is the thing: you're not going to be able to restrict until they put down laws that restrict. Till they put down laws that restrict this, then I mean, you could be working with one. Not you because of where you work, because of the thorough background check, but. For real, like
the FBI don't let you have criminal records.
My thing is this:
we never know. Like how will we know unless they actually got caught as such?
Listen,
let's be real.
But that's a lot of places where they do have the pedophiles, and you know what I mean. But that's the thing;
my job does criminal background check, thorough.
Yo,
but you get into. I mean, but it's. The 3-letter agencies are hire like a hacker, And it's like, because you're the best hacker, we're going to put you on our side to do some reverse hacking.
White collar crime always benefits you.
No,
it's
always
you get fed time and you come out with a nicer job than what you was before.
Yeah, it's going to be different. But I think it's a matter. That's what I said. I think it's the level of the crime, and then the job that you're looking at.
Right.
And I don't think the two can intertwine if they're similar. If I own a bank, you can't work me if you got a record of theft.
Point taken.
I don't trust you in the vault.
So if you're bald, if you got a bald head, can you be a barber?
Yeah.
Yes,
As
absolutely.
long as my beard
Because you got to shave your head
as
every 2 days. So you got skills with a razor.
long as the beard game is cool, I should be all right, homie.
Nah, man.
Yeah, what we got next?
All right, so
That's it.
we're gonna leave that one for last. All right, so with the whole Kamala Harris situation, dealing with them questioning her race and if she's biracial and she's not black because she got an Indian mom and her dad's Jamaican.
They're gonna do that to everybody of color that tries to run for office.
No, they already questioning everybody
Because they asked for Obama's birth certificate. So I mean, it's gonna happen.
right. So
That's the way I see it. Anybody of color that runs, they're gonna ask: are they really black? Are they really American?
It's funny because I just had a conversation today with my sister about like growing up. I always thought like politics are serious. It's not that it's not serious, but this Trump thing needs to end. Like everything, like now they make politics so goofy. It's like watching bad SNL skits. Like they talk with, like they ramble. Like it's like so weird and uninteresting. Like I'm ready for it just to be out of the way right now. As far as like these trash ads, like it's so sickening at this point. Like I'm over all of it at this point. Like I'm just not like, I'm going to be fully transparent. Like I'm not voting for him strictly on the strength of like, I'm not voting for him. Like nothing more, nothing less. Like none of the BS rhetoric or none of like I'm just over seeing him, and this can't come fast enough for me for it to be done. Like it's so weird. Like I didn't ever think politics would be this childish and this weird. So
you checking your voicemail?
Who's that?
I don't know who that was. You gotta be Eddie. He looked guilty.
Eddie always looked guilty, man. It was Bugs.
The cops was coming to get Bugs. That's what it was.
We see you on Facebook Live. Are you at work right now? We're on our way to come get you.
I mean, what y'all think about this? Like, what y'all whole feel about this whole politics thing at this point? Like Trump, Harris, the biracial thing, Biden.
It's not even just. It's forget the biracial thing. That's just stupid because I feel like we're even, let's say she's black or she's not black. Who cares? Why are we worried about voting for a black person or not voting for a black person? Vote for the right person. That's all that matters, right? But the politics is ridiculous, like you were saying, Bob. You got Trump and the whole theatrics behind that, and him getting shot, and then now you got but then you got all these people showing up to the Republican thing with these big patches on their ears out of support for him. Then you got Kamala Harris with Meg Thee Stallion performing for her. That's ridiculous to me. This is not. This doesn't need to. Then I just read a story about Robert Kennedy and him setting a dead bear in the Central Park and putting a bike on it. Like, what kind of nonsense is this? Like, y'all trying to run a country.
Your mic switched up.
You went into Thanos mode.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. It's like you said.
You sound like you got one of them. You sound like you got one of them throat mics where you got like go like this and talk.
Oh, you can still hear it. Still sound
a little bit like cancel comment number 3.
Yo, no, but it's crazy. Like, but that's my thing. Like, when did we listen? Like, she really brought out, like you said, Megan Thee Stallion to twerk.
Nah, I'm not buying that. So Meg's twerk was all of like a half a second and it was done. I think
Who
Meg
cares,
realized, No,
What the
I
hell
think
did you see
no, I
that?
think
On a
Meg
rally.
realized where she was at and then she stopped. I don't think that Kamala brought her and was like, go twerk on the stage. I mean, it's just that's nonsense. The girl put a suit on, she was doing her song, and then she like turned and was like, oh shit, I'm here. And it's, I mean, ain't nobody cared they was twerking in front of Reverend Dr. Bobby Jones at the BET Awards. So
That's at the BT Awards.
nah,
This is
I
at
just I'm not going to fault her for that.
election thing, man. Like
They brought Kid Rock's racist ass out on the RNC convention, and ain't nobody had no problem with that. So it's she brought Meg out because Meg is outside of her music, she's a good figure. Like
No, she's not.
she went back to school, she got her degree, she has multiple like nonprofit organizations benefiting kids in Houston. And
my thing is that
it's not she's not a bad person like off of mic.
Not that she's. Do I sound all right?
You sound all right now.
Yeah,
All right.
sound
You always
like
sound like you about to attack black people. Go ahead, do your black attack, PJ.
No, it's not. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but like I don't need to see Meg Thee Stallion to help me vote. Like that.
No,
just,
but
I don't think that's to help her vote, though.
But
I don't think that was to help her vote. It's
that's how
you got
tap
people
to the younger voters of the people that follow her. But it was like,
but I think it's not. I think it's beyond that.
So like
Always.
again, like you said, these people were literally at the Republican convention.
Oh, they're cornballs. Like that's just
no. We know that because again, now they use
weird.
liberal and they use left and they use woke and they just drag it out. You know what I mean? That's on the same vein as listening to Boombastic. You can't touch the. You know what I mean? Like once you go to the white side, it doesn't come back. But for our same thing, like yo, it has to be a little bit more serious for us because we're still the ones that are affected by these things. So we don't need that type of theatrics. And I'm like I said, I'm not no get off my porch ass guy right now. But it's like, come on, man. Like, what did you think? No, what song of Megan Thee Stallion you thought was appropriate for the Democratic National Convention, dude?
But she wasn't at a national convention. She wasn't at a convention though. She was.
Was WAP go be?
Nah, she did Savage. She did Savage and she like bleeped out a bunch of stuff. But it wasn't their pre speech performances was because people are in literally the stadium for 3 hours before she gets on stage. So it's like you have different people performing, different people coming out doing this and that. It's her getting behind Kamala and saying like rocking with the chick too. I don't think I'm not gonna say it was inappropriate. I think that her half a second of twerk until she realized where she was at was that one moment. But if she didn't twerk that half a second, would it still be a problem? Would her being on stage still be a problem?
To me, yeah. I just don't think that it makes sense. I mean, it may make sense now, but just because this is where we are in life, right?
Right.
Now,
but Shelby Checker doing the twist on somebody's convention, that was seen as inappropriate too.
It seems like they're just one-upping each other on who can be like these ads. Like, yo, we're in our 40s, so we grew up watching little ads, and I get it. The times change, but the things now are so outlandish. It's like, yo, what? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And we have homes, families. You know what I mean? Like finance that really, you know, have our vested interest in these candidates and things going on. But it's like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so odd.
But right now the seed is planted. It's done. You know what I mean? Like this is where we are. This is where it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Riding around with Trump flags, jerseys.
But this is like the outlandish stuff is coming from one side. Like the other side is not doing outlandish shit.
Man, I'm good. I mean, I already know. Like I said, I wasn't voting for him. Period. Even when you know what I mean. But like that's ridiculous, man. Like,
but not so. The question: Does the biracial conversation have an effect? Like, is it something where now you got to explain Eddie? Is it something you got to explain to your kids and be like, yes, you're biracial, but people are going to see you as a black kid? Because ultimately, once you look black, you're black to society.
Well, that's a fact, but I don't actually have to explain it because my kids already really understand what it is. We've already been down that path. I mean, even like my youngest when she was younger, she's 8 now, but when she was younger, and she'll always be like, like she'll say something funny like I'm gray because black and white makes gray or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's like she's even now starting to realize what it is. Like just because you comparing herself to like the white kids she go to school with, her hair is different. Yeah, her mom's white and her dad's black, but she favors like her hair is more closer to her dad than her mom, right? Same thing with my 14-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And those are the 2 kids that I have that are mixed. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I really don't have to explain it to her. She's team black all the way. Like you ain't gotta tell her nothing. Kayana's like, you can't like I'm black and I'm proud. You know what I mean? Like she even wants to claim that she's from uptown. She talk about she from the hood. You know what I mean?
Not from uptown.
But at the same time,
Let's not do that.
Even
She tries, bro.
Let's
she couldn't say
correct that,
anything
bro.
else
I'm a
though.
reminder that she's from the suburbs. But
She wouldn't be able to say that she's
but
white.
nah,
and she's
like
proud.
it doesn't.
They
Really,
wouldn't. They wouldn't accept
doesn't
that.
change because that's the reality of everything now. Think about how many interracial couples there is. I'm cool with a lot of interracial couples. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's just the way of life now. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that maybe it wasn't before, but
No,
that's what I'm surrounded by in the neighborhood where I live at. It's all. It seems like interracial for them. Not all, but a lot of interracial relationships. So these kids grow up and they see it. They see their parents in 2 different colors or whatever. And it's just up to you as a parent to explain if they have any questions. But my kids are cool. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids get it. Like it's just the way of life now. Like I wouldn't be shocked if 20 years from now, like man, I ain't gonna say 20 years. That's not far off enough. But let's say hundreds of years now, it'll end up being like one race. I ain't say it's never gonna be one race, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like it's gonna be all diluted because everybody's intertwining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was you
What
gonna
was
say,
you saying, PJ?
No, I was saying for once, you said your daughter's saying she's black and she's proud, but she can't say she's white and she's proud. They're not going to accept that. You got black in you, you're black. You know what I mean? Like whether you have both sides on it, you can't. You're not able to pick both sides.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to cut you off, but so like some adults that are like, and I'm trying to think of a famous person. I just seen it on their post the other day. They're mixed, but they don't say that they're black. You know what I'm saying? They basically say, "Hey."
They still always said that she's not as like she considers herself biracial. Stay still. She
That's
said
exactly
that,
who it was.
Who stayed still?
Stay still from. She used to be on Sports Center. She was on the View. She said it,
yeah.
and she said
Okay.
that because her dad's black, her mom's white. She said that like she's a conservative on the edge of she's a Whitlock fan. So anyway, like you gotta look her up. She's terrible, but she said, like, and I get it. But like she had like this point. She said that she's not she's just as proud of her white side as she is her black side.
Which you can be.
But right. But the problem is that the white side didn't accept the black side and disown the mom along the way. Whereas, like in your situation, it's not that way. So then that's why it's not that, it's a little different. But then there's a lot of people in certain circumstances where it's not. And I don't, like I said, I got a lot of family members that's biracial. You know what I mean? Like for me, it doesn't cross my mind because like to PJ's point, I see you black and you my family regardless. So it's nothing more for me to think about either way. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's it. But for society to act like it's going to be something, it's like Obama was, technically mixed. So and he got in office. I think for Kamala, it's a matter of if we really want to have Trump back in office or not. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that if people I don't think the race part matters. You know what I mean? Because he beat Hillary and she was a white woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's how he got in office. I just think that if people want to band together and make sure that Trump don't get off, it doesn't have anything to do about Kamala's race. Because they was tired of Biden too. That's why they got him out of there. He was a white man going against it.
Yeah.
They didn't think he could win. So I think it's just a matter if they want her more than they want Trump at this point.
So just to finish off what I was saying, but so like, yeah, you're right about the whole say still thing. Like, and it's okay if you want to say, hey, I am mixed. I am proud to be white and black. Like, I'm for it Be proud of who the fuck you are. Like I would never, like if one of my kids said that, I wouldn't be against that because it is in fact that you are white and black. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, just understand what society thinks. If you're black, if you're mixed, you're black. You know what I'm saying? Period. They're not going to view you as white and black. And if you look black, just because you have a white parent, like that shit's irrelevant. Like they're going to view you as black. They're going to treat you as black. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So like, and that's why I think the more so the understanding that comes with Kiana. Like with Kiana, she's like, yeah, she's mixed. Kiana doesn't even look mixed. I know what my daughter looks like. She looks like she's more black than anything. But at the same time, no, she can sit there. It's like, for example, she goes somewhere with her mom. You might not even think that's not her mom. She's adopted. You know what I'm saying? Like people may actually think that, but that's actually her mom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And my wife side eye because it's like, oh, she adopted that kid or something like that. No, she had that kid naturally. You know what I mean? So it's like I think race. Just back to the question. I know I go. No,
like race is a thing in the U.S. You know, and I'm super. You know, I'm that guy to the core. But I just think that with this election thing, that's just something that he's grasping at straws because he doesn't have anything he can really grasp at. Like
he has nothing.
The whole thing with Joe Biden, like he was grinding, and then like you said, people were tired of Joe. People felt certain ways about Joe, felt he was getting old, and then like you said, when they had that debate, the way he looked, you know what I mean, like the way he couldn't put his words together. It was like, oh my God. So I think she injected a new sense of like, okay, there's some hope here. And I think, like I said, it's just a matter now of if she has enough backing that they don't want him in there. Because Trump would go. I think Trump would have won if Biden would have stayed in.
Oh yeah, I said that. He definitely like Biden. No, everybody was sick of Biden. And he just didn't seem like he was fit to be a president.
I like Biden. I like the old white dude.
Biden didn't seem healthy enough to even be a president.
No, but I was never concerned about him in the election because I knew if something were to happen to him, Kamala was the vice president, so you automatically jump into the seat. Like I wasn't pressed about him being there. I think that. So it's I think with the Kamala situation that she's acknowledging both sides of her family. Like she's proud that she has an Indian mom, she's proud that she has a Jamaican dad, and I think that regardless of how that is that's if she identifies as a black woman, you leave her alone. If I can identify as a lion today and somebody tells like society you have to let him identify how he wants to, then why can't she just call herself a black woman? I don't understand what the problem is.
Because Rachel
Dolezal, I was about to say that Rachel Dolezal can't identify as a black woman.
Look, Rachel Dolezal got kicked out of NAACP for identifying herself as a black woman.
I mean, it wasn't 2024. She could probably do that now and get away with it.
No, it's like she got too many felonies now.
No, I'm saying now she can't because she put it on her application. This goes back to the last topic. She put on her job application that she had a felony for saying she was a black woman. Could you imagine being in that interview process? Like, so you, how did it work?
I don't know. It's like I'm just like I'm just over the whole politics thing. I know who I'm voting for, and like I said, it's not gonna be due just because of the fact that like I'm just streamlined and simple, like without going into too many details. But like I could care less.
Me if the Republicans get Nas to perform, you're not going to vote for Donald Trump?
Yo, PJ, I'm 44 years old. I'm still being influenced by my favorite rapper from the kid.
Yeah,
but that's my point. That's my point.
I was up on stage with Trump. Was point, like, right? Yeah, God. Like,
Bubba have a red hat on tomorrow.
Make America great.
Yo,
make Nas great again.
I was driving. Well, everywhere today had floods, right? So there was floods. Yo, there's this homeless dude on camera, and he had a "Make America Great" hat on. So I rolled down the window and told him, I said, yo, you better holler at Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you saw me outside with a homeless sign. You got the red hat, but like, yo, dude, like, I can't help you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I'll never do that, man. Like, I don't care what it sounds like or what you want to perceive it to be. Like, nah, it just.
No, you know who this dude is now.
Yeah.
Like, I think he skated the last one because nobody really knew what to expect. After 4, you know who that dude is now.
Like, yeah, but unfortunately, I think the Trump politics and the way that they are is here to stay. So regardless of if he gets in,
Oh, nah.
now,
What you mean, like
then
the outburst and all the weird
yeah,
shit?
I think it's become acceptable.
I think a
But
lot
that's
of
what I'm
Republicans are hoping that like a lot of Republican politicians are hoping that he loses because it's causing too much chaos within their own situation. Like they don't really fuck with him
But
like that. They never did.
if they truly feel that way, they need to come out and say it.
Not going to because they're gonna lose
You
the
can't just
election.
stay quiet and then let things
But
happen.
listen,
Yeah, right.
you have the ones that are like saying it. Everyone that has said something negative about him has lost their seat. Like it doesn't matter who they are. It's the voting block of his people are making them lose their seats. But if he doesn't get back in office, that whole MAGA thing dissolves because there's nobody that can take the rank after him. Like there's
But let me ask you
nobody
this.
that can do it.
Can I ask y'all a quick question? Is he at this point? Are they a cult? Because
Yeah,
I don't even think
absolutely.
it's a thing. Like he just flat out is a cult leader.
Absolutely.
It feels that way.
Like they
Absolutely.
follow him blindly. Like we're like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, like, I literally think that though the Secret Service allowed him to get pegged, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But
I don't even think he got pegged.
I think there's people there that would have really took a bullet for that dude.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because
it's sickening.
no, they would take a bullet for him because they think that there's some kind of reward in it. Like it's the same way the ones that went to jail for him are like, what the fuck? You let us go to jail for real? And at that point, it's like, okay, this is some bullshit. Which I think is like, again, like a cult. Once you get people away from the cult to look back at it, it's like that's what you were dealing with. I think people are willingly blind because it feels like it's cool in their communities to say they're with Trump. Because the shit that they say doesn't even make sense. And it doesn't make sense to them when they're saying it out loud, but it's like, if I say this, I'm cool within this bar full of MAGA people. But when you go somewhere else, like if you go in the hood, you're not trying to wear no MAGA hat. You take that shit off and leave it in the trunk. And then you put it back home when you get back out in the burbs.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about being in the hood. You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's vice versa. You're going to go along with what's going on.
Nah, hood people are the ones that are like supporting Trump now.
I mean, there are some that are dumb, right?
Saying it out loud,
right?
Like,
but I feel like I feel like it's sometimes it's a cool thing to be
different.
Not so much that you believe it, but let me be different. Let's
popular chaos.
Yeah,
it's everybody's doing this, so I have to be different because if everybody's doing it, that's not the thing. Like
right. It's not cool to be a sheep.
Are big everywhere right now. You notice that everything is a conspiracy theory. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always like it's at an all-time high, or maybe just now with social media, you can see it. You know what I mean? Like
with him,
what you could before.
But some of the shit he does just doesn't fucking make sense. Like, how do you get shot in the ear and then a week later, like there's no scar in the ear? Like, it's just like shit don't make that whole shooting setup shit is like that. All that's about to be a problem. None of it makes sense. And every day they come out with something else that don't make more sense. So you had cops throwing the other cop up on the roof and they get down and then wait a minute and see what's going to happen. Like this shit just.
No, what was crazy to me was the FBI came out and said he wasn't shot. Then they said, "Oh no, he was shot." I said, "Yo, the FBI do that now? Like that's what we doing?"
It doesn't. None of it. Nothing about that situation made sense. And when watching it live, none of that shit made sense. So instantly, I was like, "This ain't even realistic." Who the fuck gets shot and then stands up and Secret Service lets you get out and put your chest back out in public and say, "Shoot me again"? Like,
no, the crazy thing was the power fist. That was the craziest shit. Like,
yo, but it was literally sent out. Trump sends me emails, and I've like reported them.
Here you go, you and Bug.
I reported them.
Free Trump. Here you go.
So they send out emails all the time. I got Trump emails, Trump tweets within minutes of that happening with that picture of him on camera, on TV saying, "This is how strong our leader is, donate whatever much money." And it's like instantly that became a message because you had a fragile, weak Joe Biden still sitting in that space. And it's like you had to do something to catapult yourself up above that guy. And the catapult moment is, I'm strong, I got shot, and I survived.
So what about
They
this?
tried to kill him with COVID. That didn't work.
Who's
Supposedly,
the shooter?
who shot him?
Was that? Yeah, no. Was that a real person?
The
Like,
person
did
that
somebody?
shot?
Yeah, was that actually a real person? Did they actually have a gun? Did they shoot? Did they get killed?
So is that the new question?
I'm just looking
Like,
from a
so do we
from a
believe that
conspiracy
that's a true
theory.
assassination? So we don't believe.
So-
Is that what you asking, PJ?
Yeah.
Is it a true?
I think dude was on a roof and he actually tried to shoot. I don't know if
Do you
like
think
I don't
somebody
know
put
how
him
that
through it?
worked, but I don't. You can't shoot somebody with that size bullet and nick their ear and barely touch them, and you're okay. Like if you get touched with that bullet, your shit's like mingled. This
All right,
dude
so
is fucking around.
so are you just saying you're disputing the fact that he got shot, or are you disputing the whole idea that there was actually a shooter?
No, I think there's definitely a shooter. The problem with the shooting is like if you watch anything like the presidential assassination attempts of like Reagan and RFK, that kind of thing, they don't try to kill them. Like their intention is to take them in to find out why they tried to attempt it. The fact that they shot this dude in the face instantly, like you're looking at him while he's doing it, to be able to shoot him back in the face that fast. So you saw him sitting over there. There's no way you didn't see that dude on the
Yeah,
roof.
but how, you can't take somebody down that far away.
Why can't you?
They
You
have
can
to
take somebody
shoot
down.
You have to shoot them. You can't bring them in.
No, but you.
How do you stop?
Yeah.
How do you stop somebody that far away from you from shooting?
The cops are there.
You can't. You're not going to climb up and get that dude while he's still shooting.
Why not?
Because he would have shot several more people during that time.
So you're not gonna get him. You're gonna shoot him. You're gonna shoot him square in the head.
Yes, you stop the threat immediately. If that's the case,
But
like,
then
that
you
makes
said
no
that.
sense.
But then,
Yo,
so in a no. But hold on. So in an open field,
Mhm.
you shoot one person. You say the entire threat is gone. We're good. How did you scan the entire area that fast?
Oh no. I
can't.
I
So
agree with that. But
right. So
yeah,
you
there's
shot
parts
him.
of the story that don't make sense. But what I'm just
Right.
talking about, you can't just let him continue to shoot and take him
No,
down.
that's what I'm
'cause
saying.
You want him alive.
That's what I'm saying. He was going to die regardless. That's what I'm saying. It's just dead people don't talk.
Right.
So whatever the situation is, suddenly they have like all these things and all this evidence to saying like you've been planning this for this long and we found this and we found that. Every other day they find something else. You're gonna go kill somebody, but your bulletproof vest you left it in the car. That don't fucking make sense. Like it's like if you're going to do that, you would have been prepared to get shot back at. Like you knew this dude was going to be there, and you knew to kill that guy to say that the threat is now eliminated.
But let me ask you this. So, like, because they say that somebody died. There's a firefighter that died. Some people like to go down in history. Like, they feel like that's their purpose. Like, they do go out to die. You know what I mean? Like, because we have suicide by cop in a regular circumstance. You know what I mean? So, again, like, he maybe it was a manifesto in his idea. Like, yo, I attempted to shoot Trump. My name goes on and lives on forever. You know what I mean? Like, and I could be bigger than I ever thought I would be, or I could have been. But do we really believe that there was a true assassination? Like, it's
No.
So you think it was like a conspiracy thing, like something?
I think that Trump knew what he was doing. He put a bunch of shit on stage that he's never put on stage before. You've never done a rally, put a big ass screen on stage. You did that this time. You never do something and you like don't have your security people who put up their Metatrons or Metaltrons, whatever they're called. You told them to stop seeing people they were coming in. You let the outside area be unattended to. There wasn't even like Secret Service around that area. It's like too much of it just doesn't make sense on a security protocol aspect. You let too much stuff happen to put yourself at risk. And then you say, okay, I got shot. And then a week later say, God miraculously healed my ear. There's no scar. That doesn't fucking make sense. So it's like you knew what that image would do. The image is everywhere. It's probably the most iconic image that's going to come out of this century, more than likely. That's what I'm saying. Like you knew what that would be. And then there was no response to your life being threatened to get you out of the space. Like, let me put on my shoe. The fuck? Let me stand up. Oh, wait, let me address the crowd and put my fist up. Let me stand back on this other side and do this. You tell the cameraman, like, as as the president's getting shot at, Secret Service isn't even making the cameramen move out of the way. Y'all can stay here and keep taking pictures. Like, that's not fucking realistic. And then you're just standing there on stage with a gun, just kind of like looking around. Like, it's just none of this shit makes sense.
What you think, Eddie? What's your thoughts on this whole Trump assassination? You think that shit was real? You think it was staged? Do you
Eddie
think
was there.
There's a cover up? Do you think because I have heard a conspiracy where they told the bull and he was a part of a plot and then they took him out. I've heard that.
I feel like it's a little bit more to than just him just trying to assassinate Trump. I think that there's one of y'all said it, like he got killed after the fact. Like I think he was put up to it. I think he was put up to it one way or another. I think somehow this is this whole little showing because it's like, come on, man, like the whole scenario with this dude like getting taken out immediately after he took the shot, and honestly, conveniently he turned his head a certain way and it just nipped his ear. Like, bro, come on. If he wanted to kill Trump, he could have killed Trump. Like, I really believe that. Like, I think that, I mean, it could be anything. Maybe they're like, yo, well, you might lose your life with this, but we'll make sure your family.
Nah, they're not gonna tell me you're gonna lose your life. It's like whoever puts you up to that's like, this is what you're gonna do.
No, like if something happens, we'll take care of your family. Like, people, you gotta think people could be a little bit nuts. You know, I might give my life if my family's gonna be rich for the rest of their fucking life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have
I'm just saying, like, I'm just
saying, like,
family.
Y'all ain't getting me for that shit. Fuck y'all.
But see, that's just you though.
Eat some noodles.
I think about it that way. Who's to say that this dude wasn't even fucking have some type of mental issue, was ready to die? Maybe he was ready to die.
It's a proxy.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck it.
And that's what I'm saying. And then it's like the dude that they said, the firefighter got killed. To think that this dude and the cult leader that he is wouldn't sacrifice somebody else to propel himself higher, like I don't trust him on that.
Part of if you're calling him a cult leader, then that dude might be part of the cult. He was meant to sacrifice himself for the whole scenario.
Oh, like the white dude on Da Vinci Code,
bro. Like I mean,
good job, Eddie.
Crazy. People are crazy. People do weird shit for weird reasons. Like, who knows? But my thought of it, I do think it was kind of I ain't gonna call it a hoax. I just think it was a whole setup. I think it's more to it. I think we'll never know because, like you said, maybe the dude didn't know he was gonna die, and then they killed him, so now he can't talk because he's dead. So
people don't talk.
I mean, whatever. And Trump, the little nipple. Like, I just don't. The thing that seems the fakest to me is, bro, just chilled in his head just enough just to get nipped. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that if he wanted to shoot him in his fucking head, he got a big ass head. He could have shot him in his head. It's not like it's a hard target to miss.
You hear a gunshot and you go, "What was that?"
Right.
Oh, they're shooting. Who does that? Somebody shoot him. What was that? Oh, fuck! They're shooting. Oh, get down! Like, it's just like.
And then he's like. You know what I mean? Like, power, like, come on, bro.
Yo,
like,
if you're shooting at me, I'm ducking behind everybody else. I'm pulling your shirt and running to the car. The car didn't even speed off. That shit drove off slow as fuck. Get up
again and put my hand in the air. There might be another shooter.
They walk into the car slowly. Like, I've seen, if you ever like watch like presidents getting rushed off of something, they grab them by the back of their shirt like this, and they run their ass to wherever they going. It's like there's no let me put my shoe on. Fuck your shoe. Like, no. It's just like, no.
This is too much to it. It's too much with it.
Damn bandage. If I got shot in my arm and I had a sling on and I went somewhere and everybody put on a fucking sling, I'm pissed because y'all think this shit's funny. Like, somebody tried to kill me and I got shot in the arm and y'all got slings on. You walking around with bandages on your ear and he's like giving you thumbs up and shit. I'm like, no. Almost got killed. Y'all think this shit's funny? Y'all got tampons on your ear? Fuck y'all.
Man, that was his thug life moment.
Man,
you think it was real, PJ?
Yeah, PJ think it's real.
I think
PJ's the son of a sniper, so it's
I think it actually happened. Yeah,
I think
it actually happened. Now, as far as did he actually get hit with a bullet? That's very. I feel like a bullet, especially of that caliber, would have did a lot more damage.
It would have took
Then
half
to-
the ear off or something.
Yeah.
Yo, he's showing
Right?
his ear.
So maybe
Like his ear is exposed now. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But listen, PJ brings
He
up
said
another
God healed
point.
him.
Like maybe he was actually trying to take him out, right? Maybe he was, but maybe the whole injury was fake. Maybe he just went down, cut his ear with a little piece of metal to make himself bleed a little bit to make it seem like he got nipped. Because that's real. Like a whole bullet from a sniper rifle, bro. Like think about how precise that has to be for it to
I think
just hit your ear though.
I think whatever happened, maybe he didn't know the shit was happening. I think that's a very good possibility. Maybe he didn't know about whatever was going on, and the person actually shot him. Maybe when the Secret Service came over, somebody was like, "Got him." But it just none of it makes sense.
It almost seems like the Secret Service wanted it to happen. Yeah, I mean, because everything says that they spotted the dude well before people were saying that he was up there. They had eyes on him, and they still let this dude shoot.
But it wasn't. But the people that had eyes on him and like spotted him, like even the reverse sniper people, those are state police officers. So it's like everyone that was around him was state police officers. Trump has the security detail that he has is his Secret Service security detail. They've been with him. Nobody's been replaced. Nobody's new. All of them are his same old people. Trump puts himself in situations where there's no security because he feels like his people aren't going to do anything to him. So it's you set up these situations and then say, "Oh, well, I asked for extra support and y'all didn't give it to me." Which the shit that he's talking about was like 3 years ago, and they were talking about giving him extra support if he were to go to jail. Like it's not the same thing. When he asked for the support for rallies, they were trying to get it to him because he already had a death threat that was coming from Iran, and they knew that was a credible threat. So it's the situation. It makes him look like the government's trying to kill me. They're trying to put me in jail. They're trying to assassinate me. They're trying to come after you. So they're coming after me. It's all of it just lines up to what it is that he's saying. And then hours before he goes to this rally, he's on Fox News talking to Harris Falker, talking about, well, bad things happen to good people. So I want to put a vice president in place that just in case something were to happen, everything will be okay. Because, bad things happen to good people. And then you get shot at the same day. Come on, guys. Like, fuck out of here. Tupac's murder was different. Never mind. So.
You said Tupac's murder.
Nah, I'm fucking.
Can we touch on, I know we've been running low. Can we just make sure we shout out Sha'Carri with the big comeback today at the Olympics when the dudes failed a little bit because they fumbled that.
They didn't fall a little bit. They fucked up bad.
Yeah. But Sha'Carri definitely redeemed herself. Just got to give that shout out real quick.
It was a look over for me. That was dope.
Yeah.
She's like, bitch. And kept running. It was just, she's a beast. So, all right. Last PJ, your favorite person, Drake.
That's my favorite person.
your favorite rapper, your protege. Not to go far into it, which I think about the Drake Kendrick situation.
It's weird. Go ahead.
Why is it weird?
I'm honestly sick of hearing they not like us at this point. It's on every fucking, like, I was with it at first. Ooh, dope song, beats nice. Now every time I turn my radio on, still it's on there, and I turn it off now. I'm just over it.
I'm waiting for it to come on Walmart commercials. Like
it'll be on McDonald's before.
I feel bad for I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the bright skinned brother. Like, it's any other diss song, it never had like commercial success. Like, this shit's everywhere, and you can't go anywhere and they're not playing it. It's you got politicians playing it, coming on stage. It's just nobody was playing Hit 'Em Up and coming out and making a political speech. Like, they making references to it. I feel bad for the guy. Like, it's. So but I feel like Drake should have been a bubblegum rapper and stayed a bubblegum rapper. Like, he had his moment. He got a good track out. He got 2 good tracks out. But Kendrick just went ape shit after that, and it was a rap.
So I just think that I personally think, like, at first, before they not like us or whatever. Like it was like, all right, this is all right, back and forth. You know, and I like Drake. I'm a Drake fan. Like I ain't gonna say nothing like I ain't. But at the same time, it was like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, I think he got him. And then he started calling him a pedophile and all that. And it's like the whole thing with this damn, whether it's true or not, the whole thing with this damn this rap beef shit is what I'm realizing is it's basically, yo, it's kind of like riding a wave because it's like everybody's like, yo, because like Drake this, Drake that. Like Drake, I think I like Drake as an artist, bro. But like I think that last track that he made, it was like, yo, it was kind of pointless. Like, let it go. I think with what is it called? I just said the fucking title. They're not like us. I think they just forced it. Like it was forced by everything, by the media, by everybody. Like it was forced. Like I think if it would have just been like normal, like all right, they played it, they dropped it online. You know, maybe a radio station too would play it. But once they started playing it out, he wasn't gonna. It was done. It was over. Like there was nothing you could do. And he did the right thing by trying not to respond because like they were saying he was going to respond again. What would be the point?
Stop.
You gotta stop. You had to let it go. But I just think that it was. I think it was just ridiculous. It was dumb. Like, because guess what? I think they're going to make it. I think they're going to make a fucking track together at some point soon. I think they're going to squash the beef. I think so. I do. I think that they're going to squash the beef because like Drake's career is not going to take a hit because of this. He's still going to He's going to sell it out. He's going to drop an album, and it's still going to do the numbers that it did before. I guarantee it.
But I think once you start,
because they both got personal. He started talking about him being a woman beater, and
I think it went too personal for them to be able to like repair. I think it's going to be like maybe y'all can be in the same space.
I believe that it's always repairable.
They're going to be like 50.
It may take
time. It ain't happening no time soon.
It's not even necessary. I don't think there's a need for it. No. But the reason why I think it's weird because it's Drake has his lane. Drake already solidified who he is, right? Yeah. And then out of nowhere, it's like now everybody's like, oh no, we don't like Drake. Like the whole industry just pretty much just went against Drake for no apparent reason. When he put so many people and he gave so many people hits. Mm-hmm. Just by being on their records, and now it's like, oh, we don't like you. But it seemed more. It was more of a cultural movement for the West Coast,
right?
With everything that Kendrick was doing, and then everybody just hopped on it like, oh yeah, we don't like Drake. It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
See, for me, like I like Drake music. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna front. Like I don't, like I know his music, but I also like Kendrick. Like you know what I mean? But the irony is like I like Drake more. You know what I mean? Like I like some of Kendrick's things. I think that it was a matter of one, we forget that Drake is an actor. So I think the thing that Kendrick did that really pointed out some things, like with a great diss track, it points out things that make you look at things. You be like, oh, he was like, like he called him a colonizer. You know what I mean? Like Drake. You know what I mean? Like, and then he was like, you know what I mean? Like. A pedophile, you're like, wow, like you know what I mean? It's things that you can look at and like, oh, well, that's questionable. Because then now with this social media age, you'll pull up a tweet, you'll pull up a thing, and it was like, oh, so these things mean that. And then it was like, because Kendrick had a big following, so it has to be a big for a big to do it. But I also think that Drake got to the point where he was in a sense like Ja Rule, like you know what I mean? Like he was floating so high, but then when somebody else came and they just. Because 50 Cent really stole Ja Rule's style. You know what I mean? Kendrick didn't steal the style, but I think like they were peers, and it was like, oh, but Kendrick had, like you said, the whole West Coast, regardless, behind him. You know what I mean? And like, you got to think like Drake rocked with LeBron, and to see LeBron at the concert, it was like, oh shit. Like, it was a lot of people that made it just been behind his back. And I get what you're saying, PJ, about Drake putting so many people on, but we also know a lot of those people are hanger-ons or they're just benefiting because they're around you, so they might not really like you. So, that's the thing you learn. I just think that, like, a lot of people were over Drake, and with Kendrick doing that, it was just their way of saying, like, oh, cool. Now it's not like, you know what I mean? Now it's the time we can officially not like him or just let him sit down and let him.
Even though he gave them all hits, though. Even though he gave them all hits.
So now all those same people need to go at Kendrick and let him hop on their records and
they're not because Kendrick, like you said, put the West Coast back in play, and they need to get money out the West Coast. P&B Rock and a lot of them people got but look how many stars got killed out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of them young people that got killed, like the P&B Rock, the Pop Smokes. You know what I mean? So like, and like we know the temperament. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's why a lot of them were not saying nothing. But I also think that again, jealousy breeds envy, and I think Drake was very popular. So I think some of them low key are happy because it doesn't matter if you fell off and I'm popular now. That's cool because I'm popular now. You know what I mean? So I don't need you. And that's cool that you down here with me. I might throw you a bone or something like that. You know what I mean? Like people are
Drake don't need him.
that. Huh?
You don't.
Drake don't need anybody to throw him a bone.
Drake's gonna be fine, yo.
Yeah.
Is he?
I don't think it's going to bounce back.
Okay, let's say Drake's not fine. What's Kendrick going to do with this momentum? Absolutely nothing.
I don't.
It's Kendrick.
Absolutely nothing. He's going to come out. No, he's going to come out with another.
I don't agree with PJ often, but good.
He'll come out with another album. He's never going to have his most popular song is a diss record about Drake.
No, because he got humble.
It's not true.
You know what I mean? You know, like that.
I guarantee you, this is going to go down as his most played song.
Yeah, PJ. I mean, a lot of diss songs are like that. Though. Like, I mean, the greatest diss songs.
No, they're not. I've never heard of this song this much.
Tupac died in '96, and people know Hit 'Em Up to this day.
When was the last time you danced to Hit 'Em Up?
I was in the gym last week.
First of all, I got an attitude problem, so I listen to
that motherfucker. I was in the gym like.
But nobody dances to Hit 'Em Up.
Yo.
Nobody, and I think that's the thing. It's literally you got people dancing on your grave, like they're dancing in the club to your shit, and Drake's just sitting there like.
It's that.
I don't believe it.
When your diss song is great, it sits in the culture forever because as good as Takeover is, you don't reference it as Ether. Like, man, he ethered him. Like, that's a reference.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, No Vaseline is a reference. Like, Hit 'Em Up. Like, you just say it and it doesn't matter because then you don't have to dance to it though, PJ, but you might get in your car and be like, yo, first off, fuck your bitch and the click you click. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just raw. Like when you hear that beat, like certain songs just last forever. Like some of the greatest R&B songs is diss songs. You know that. Like they had subliminal songs as a you know what I mean. So it's like
Hit 'Em Up hurt my feelings. I wasn't even involved in that shit, and I was like, damn, fam.
I mean, I just think that there's a lot to gain for Kendrick for this, but I don't think he fell off the way that like we're old school hip hop from East Coast. But I think that he really helped propel some of he was already on that status to them. There's young kids that love Kendrick anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to do anything with this momentum. I don't see it.
All right, so what do you expect him to do with this moment?
He's not. What it's not going to do is transfer popularity, right? So he's not going to become Drake status. Like Drake is not falling, and then Kendrick is going up here. That's not happening.
I agree with
that.
But
let me ask you this: is Kendrick? He's already.
Kendrick's already solidified.
He's already. He's won awards for. He's in a Writers Hall of Fame and all types of shit, right? Like you know, what I mean, he owes awards. Like so, he's already notarized and like respected by a lot of his age group. We like Drake because he sings on songs, he raps, like you know what I mean. So he has that, but. In his age round, like obviously it's something like, but what is he supposed to take from this great, you know what I mean? Like this great song.
This is one of those songs that could give you commercial success.
Right.
This is a commercial success type of song, but he's not going to do anything with that. I don't think it's in his personality or his brand to really even.
But I don't think that Kendrick is a person that focuses on commercial success.
That's what I'm saying. It's not his brand, but what I'm saying is this is the moment. This song is the moment. That's it.
So,
but I think that
he'll never be more popular than Drake ever was. Then
he won't.
No, but I don't think that. I think there's certain people that they do it for different reasons.
Like not like a better lyricist. I'm talking strictly popularity. Like you know, Drake.
Nah, Drake's a party boy. Like that's
Drake could say his claim right now is you're only popping and popular because you put my name in your mouth.
I'm popular because I just demolished you.
No,
you were
popular because of who it was.
No, but Kendrick was popular before that.
That's what I'm not
what's the last major stage Drake was on?
Any stage that Drake is on.
Don't
is a
nobody.
major stage.
Nah, like major performances, like
Here's
Super
the thing.
Bowls, Grammys. Like
There
don't
was a
nobody call
top
Drake.
three. Like you said, there's J. Cole, there's Kendrick, and there's Drake. So when Cole made his song and he dropped out, you know what I mean, and then dropped out of it, apologized, stepped off, for Kendrick to come with something hard, because like I said, like I think this is a top 5 diss of all time.
If Kendrick would have went at J. Cole, it would not have had the same impact.
Well,
It wouldn't
J.
have.
Cole made the song and dropped out.
Nah,
But
I
it
get
wouldn't
that,
have
but
the
what
same
I'm
impact.
saying, it wouldn't have been that same impact because you're not that concerned about Kendrick Lamar dissing J. Cole.
J. Cole, right?
Right.
So the reason
But I
why
think-
this moment is
but-
so big is because he put
Because
Drake
everybody wanted
Yeah.
to see somebody take Drake under, and that's really what it was about.
Yeah.
Right.
The same thing with the thing with Nas, right? Like Nas was considered a great, but when he finally said something to Jay-Z, motherfuckers like, oh shit, he said that. It's the same thing. It's the same impact. It's the same shit. Because like you said, like you hear this song, you got old people singing it, you got young people singing, you got babies singing it. Like
That's
shout
the
out
part
to you
that
go to
hurts.
the club. You got
But-
like, it's gonna be, yo, give it 2 years, it's gonna reemerge on a commercial.
But again, just like you said, right? When you say ether or you ether somebody, you think of that song, right? It had its impact. But again, what did Nas do with that? Nothing.
He didn't have.
And what did Jay-Z do with that?
I mean,
Become
they
a
both
billionaire.
went They both
But
went
it's
to
about
considered
what
the
you
same
want to
No.
do with it, though.
Nas just became rich within the past couple years. Like, I'm not saying no. Let me get it wrong. Nas always had money, right? But he wasn't.
Yeah, I know what you
rich.
mean.
You know what I mean? Like he just now.
I'm happy, PJ. You were speaking real black, so I know what you meant when you said he wasn't rich and he got money. Like, you got money. That's how real niggas talk, PJ. That's what I'm talking about, PJ.
I think it's about what you want.
You know what
Like
I'm
if
saying?
you,
That's what it is.
that's that Nino Brown.
Yo,
I think if your demeanor is to turn it into commercial success, then that would be the route that you would go. I don't think anything that Kendrick does is done for commercial success. I think he does music for
as
the
Nas,
industry, for the culture. It's not for. He's not going to go do a.
Check
What's
this
that?
out.
Show me what you got song with fucking
Right,
Dale.
which means
But let me
Drake
say this
is
too.
not going to suffer
Alright.
from this.
No, I'm
So-
saying Drake
so
Drake doesn't lose any commercial success. He's not going to. Drake is going to keep the commercial success that he has. But it's the beef is like in the culture. So we're all going to recognize you got your ass whooped in that battle. And that's kind of where it stays at. It doesn't have to necessarily go into a monetary thing and like what you can do afterwards. Whereas with Ja Rule, it's like couldn't rebound. Where Ja Rule should have stayed in the hook for 21
Yeah,
questions.
that's what I'm
PJ,
saying.
So with Nas and Kendrick, what they were AI crossing over Jordan. It's yo, I know you great, but I'm gonna give you this crossover and it's gonna stick out legendary forever. And like I said, I'm still great in my own lane, but just know that you can't fuck with me on this shit too. Like I can
Go back
fuck
to
with
your
you
party
just the way
music and have
and that's
fun.
what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Like, do I have to take it to some grand success? Like you said, Drake's gonna still be like you said, Hov. He's gonna have more money. But like you said, like yo, man, this ain't the shit you want to bark with. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna cross you over, and you know I can get my shit off just like you can get your shit off.
Yeah, it's like Wesley Snipes beating up Ving Rhames in that prison movie. It's like you go back out, you still the champ, but don't remember you got your ass whooped in jail. Okay, we good. It's like you don't want to beat up, you don't want to beat him up. Yeah, that
But
was
do
good.
you see that, PJ? It's kind of like the AI Jordan crossover.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because it's a cultural impact. Like everybody knows, Jordan won the game. Jordan scored more points, but it still sticks out in infamy because AI, what? He wasn't afraid of Jordan and put his move on his favorite player no matter what. So I'm here just like you here, my nigga. Like that's what that shit is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it never, it still sticks out. That's why you can still ether or they not like us because you're gonna use that. They not like us is gonna be ether. Like as far as the way you use it.
Yeah.
Phrasing, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be in a culture forever. So the impact is the culture.
Yeah, agreed. All right, fellas, this was fun.
It was fun.
I think we
Nah,
good.
it only got fun when Bogues got dropped off. Like, nah.
The alien,
When the
the aliens took
for
him.
it, you know, he was
Before that, it was a little tense. I wasn't sure what I could say when Bogues was on.
Yo, is it just me? Or
Let's talk about aliens.
Or does TJ remind you of, remember the episode of Martin when he was petting the Rottweilers?
Yo, that's what I said.
And the lighting is the same too. The lighting is the same too.
Hold up.
Calm down.
Cole, sit your final ass down before I make change.
Oh God, yeah.
Definitely was good to talk.
Somebody stole your CD player. You're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Yo, these Martin references is ridiculous.
Go watch it. Look, go watch it. Go watch it. Go by your wife, watch it, and say, "Do I look like this?" When you she's gonna lose it. You got a dog too, don't you? Go there, go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have her take a picture of you and give the money. Watch.
Yeah, you're gonna get him put back on punishment. We're gonna have another show for like a year.
Oh man.
Oh God.
That's right. I forgot he was in negotiation with the Joe Budden podcast and the Trey Songz podcast. So I'm glad.
It wasn't no Trey, yeah, right?
The Piss Sip podcast.
See, Bugs with Diddy. He was in here vouching for Drake. It's the Drake podcast. This is happening. But until next time, y'all, when things are pressing and we got some things to say about it, have a good evening.
Y'all crazy.
All right, y'all.
All right, QL, y'all.
Uncut shot, raw, uncut, raw, uncut, uncensored and unfiltered, raw, uncut, 80, raw, uncut, bubs, raw, uncut, uncensored and unfiltered, spiritual and natural, Q-Lock familiar, spiritual and natural, Q-Lock familiar, spiritual and natural, Q-Lock familiar, comes the PJ, y'all, please say the real, shot tells us all what's happening, Steve, get the T-Watch, shot tells us all what's happening, 80, keep you black, Steve, get the T-Watch, Bubs opinionated, 80, keep you black, Q-Lock familiar, spiritual and natural. Q-Lock familiar, spiritual and natural. Q-Lock familiar, comes spiritual and natural. Q-Lock familiar, comes the PJ. Please say the real.